And so the curious thing about this unfolding, this play of life, this dance, this unfolding into freedom, unfolding out of the constraints. In the play of life, the me wants it to be all about me. The me thinks that it is all about me. And of course, we discover that it's not. And yet, at the same time, it is, because there's nothing else here. And so part of the me wanting it to all be about me is also about making myself right through comparison and competition, through the play of relational dynamics, manipulation, the play of shame and guilt and doubt. And so then the truth that it is actually all about me, because I'm the only one here, is about reclaiming all of those unloved parts of ourselves that come up in the face of life and in a field of love that is calling forward everything to show itself as love, right? So it's never about anyone else. It's never about someone else. Whatever is stirring in our field is always only about our own inner landscape. And so we shift, in a way, the self-indulgence of the me, the innocent self-indulgence of the me, to a self-love, a self-compassion, and a pointing everything to ourselves. That everything is revealing just an unloved part, just more love waiting to be discovered. And so the play of projections in a certain way is just a means to see, where are we projecting away from ourselves? Where are we having any kind of feelings or expressions or opinions about anybody else? And what is that actually wanting to reveal in my own heart? What is here that is calling for love? And can I be present? And can I be the love that loves all of the seeming fragmented parts of myself into the fullness of love itself? There's so much richness in the adventure because it is only about you. That's the richness, right? It's like we want to have other experiences. We want to try to put it outside of us. But there's no truth in anything. There's no truth in anything but the presence of being. There's no truth in information, opinions. There's no truth in teachings. There's no truth even in lineages or anything the way that it's presented in the world. The only truth is the presence of your own being. The only truth is that which is unmoving and unchanging. And so that's why we speak of, in order to deepen, we deepen into the stillness, into the silence. It's like we deepen into the unknown and the not knowing, because it's actually the safest place. It's true safety. We deepen into the knowing of the heart. We deepen into the field of love. We deepen into the field of love that will invite forward everything in us that feels to be unloved, in perfect timing, to bring it all home within our own lived experience. So it is to just remember that everything in the lived experience is about our own inner landscape. It's never about anything else. Can spend so much time in discussion. The only real benefit of discussion is to find out what happens in your inner landscape in the discussion, right? What happens in your inner landscape in any kind of relational dynamic? What happens in your inner landscape when you are reading? What happens in your inner landscape in satsang, right? Because it's all about what's happening in your inner landscape. And the grace of life and the grace of love is that it's calling forward everything into the light, into the fullness of where a true integration and embodiment can happen. So it's not about me as a protection. It's not about me as an island that's divided, that's imperfect and unholy. It's not about me that has done something wrong and is trying to cover that up, trying not to be revealed, trying to prove myself as right and worthy, trying to be validated in the world, right? It's about recognizing that all of those places are just calling for love. So can we be the field that actually loves instead of shames, that loves instead of resists and pushes away? Can we be the field that loves and includes instead of judging and projecting? And can we include even the protective ways that we judge and project and push away as part of the process of our evolution and deepening? Can we be in love with the whole unfolding, knowing that the whole unfolding is like a tightly folded up piece of paper, we could say, that is just fold by fold, revealing its wholeness? If we are to leave any part out when we unwrap it, there would be something missing, right? So it's about the unwrapping, the unwinding, the unraveling to reveal that everything has always been a part of the one. Everything has always been a part of the whole. We are unwrapping ourselves, unfurling the fullness of what we are through the means of the play of life, thread by thread, loving all that we are, seeing all that we are, including all that we are. Before we are anyone, before we are anything, before we take up any roles, we are a child. All of us are children. All of us are children. Doesn't matter whether you have moved through life and become a mother or father yourself, whether you've become a grandparent, whether you are an elder, it matters not, you are still a child. And in a way, this return to remember that I am just a child, it keeps us holy, it keeps us humble, it reminds us that we never arrive anywhere, and most definitely the roles that we take on are not intended to be a hiding place or a hierarchy. That remembering I am just a child keeps us humble, it keeps us simple, and it actually invites us back to the playful innocence of our true nature, right? Remember how Anandamayi Ma would say, when anyone would bestow any kind of devotion or projecting the divine onto her, she would say, I'm just a little child. Just be kind to this little child and be present with yourself. You know, these kind of things, because it's like, wow, she was so wise, so wise. She was never going to try to dismantle the whole discordance of the guru structure. She would invite people, sure, have your guru, be true to your guru. As a female biology, she wasn't going to try to dismantle the patriarchy by speaking about it in her country of birth and the imbalance and discordance. Her integrity was just so simple and so incredibly wise. To be a simple child adjunct to all the guru culture, so clearly seeing it, but never ever making a breath against it, right? That's a field of love that sees, but doesn't shame any of it, doesn't make any of it wrong, because the seeing sees that there's only love, and the discordance, the delusion, all of it is a play. It's all born of love. It's all God, right? Nothing needs to change. The change happens, the shift happens in our inner perspective of how we see and know ourselves, right? There's only one. There's only one. When there's a knowing, there's only one. There's no need to try to fix or change the structures on the external, because the essence is where the shifting happens, right? Can you feel the frequency of what we're pointing to this morning? Can you feel it, right? It's so potent to really receive the frequency transmission of the one. Even if the mind can't give language of it to it, or you feel like you can't quite grasp it, it's more subtle than that, right? The grasping of it is kind of like a flash of seeing, of resonant recognition, that you so fully cannot grasp that the next moment you're like, what did I just see? What was that? Right? It's not elusive. It's always here. It's the recognition. It's like the kiss of love. It's the embrace of love. It's the frequency of the one. And as a child that knows nothing, as a child that is in the remembrance of innocence, in the playfulness, in the adventure of this life, and not needing to be seen as having achieved or got somewhere or seen something, or holding all this immense scope of knowledge, we discover that what is relevant in this life is something so tiny and so potent, so humble, so innocent, so nothing, and yet it is everything, right? Because it is the revelation that frees everything. It's the revelation of love that allows love to truly be a technology of all encompassing unconditional inclusivity, that truly sees that it's not about other. It's not about changing the life. Everything is pointing us to our own internal landscape. Everything is pointing. The only question we might be asking is, what is happening for me right now? What is happening? What is happening now? and not trying to fix or change what is happening now, but being so present with what is happening now, that there's an openness to receive whatever is surfacing, whatever is resonant in the field, that it can feel so fully received, so fully seen, so included, right? Unconditionally. That we come into an intimacy with self. We come into the frequency field of pure devotion. We come into the flow of divine surrender. That life in this timeless moment is in constant surrender into itself, into itself, into itself. That love is in complete devotion to itself, flowing. And this flow is the flow that keeps that wholeness integral, right? True integrity is the integrity of wholeness, the knowing of the one. It's not in behaviors, it's not in things. Everything is pointing us into a deeper seeing, a deeper knowing of our own self and our own unloved, discordant, fragmented threads, fibers, parts. The miracle of love is that it already knows itself. It sees itself, it includes itself. It doesn't need to fix or change anything. It knows that it already is. It is already whole, it is already full. And so in a way, our question might be, well, if I rest in love, then surely then I will have the perspective of love, receive the grace of love. So what would keep me from love? What would keep me from love? In the stillness, in the silence, in the field of presence is where our deepening is. Everything starts and finishes in the silence. Everything starts and finishes in the presence of now, in the timelessness, the openness, the emptiness. And all of life is birthed out, we could say. The manifest appearance, birthed from this moment, collapsing back into itself as if it devours itself. The appearance that we see as my life, as the world, is a reflection of our inner landscape. So what incredible grace that we are constantly being given the capacity, the invitation, the ability to receive that reflection. It's happening in all of life, and yet some situations are fields of activation, fields of initiation where there will be amplification and heightening. In the emptiness, into the emptiness, into the wide open spaciousness, the unmet, unconscious arises, right? We know this from perhaps a practice of meditation or sitting, that as we sit in the silence, into the spaciousness, here they come, the old friends. Here they come parading into the mind just when I'm trying to be in meditation and super extra quiet and silent. And of course, it's grace into the silence, into the emptiness, because there's a frequency of safety, a frequency of open receptivity. And into that frequency will surface what is ready to surface, what is ready to be loved, be held. That when we really come to a sense of being able to recognize in the field that there's only one, what does that really mean? Where do I receive that? This frequency of a unified field. Not trying to achieve it, not trying to climb a ladder to get to unity, but actually noticing where is that already known here. Entering through the stillness, the silence, using the available portal of presence to open to the field of presence, the ground of being, to feel the frequency of the unity of all. We could say the interconnectedness. And even again, as if it it feels like it cannot be fully grasped. It's almost as if the mind could say, well, I don't fully get it, so I'll just discard that and get on with the things that I've got to be busy with right now. But it's through actually being with the aliveness of what hasn't been maybe fully grasped, but being able to just be so receptive of the aliveness of the frequency. Let the frequency infuse and touch everything. Through the me and the mind, we can be looking for an experience that we can contextualize and confirm, looking for an experience that is recognizable. But this unfolding is so much subtler than that, so much subtler. And so instead of arriving in linear ways that we can contextualize and understand and hold on to, that we can have a sense of, well, I know that now, or I get it now. It's about receiving the glimpses, the frequencies, like kisses, taps on the shoulders, flashes, and just letting it just be here. Just knowing that it's here, even if it feels like it's gone again. Don't try to chase it, and it will catch you. It will kiss you again. And you don't try to chase it. You don't try to grasp it. Don't try to catch it in a net. Don't try to make it yours. Don't try to talk about it, right? And it will catch you again. Because love is chasing you. Love is hunting you down. Every single fiber and atom of your being. You are being hunted day and night by love. And love is dangling the possibilities in front of you in everything that you love, everything that disturbs you, everything that agitates and frustrates you. Love is dangling the fibers and threads of your being right in front of you. And when you just rest in the quiet, kiss you again until the flavor of that embrace is just so potent that it lingers. It lingers. It lingers in a way that you know that even if you feel like it's not here, it never leaves you. It has never left you. You've always been held. You've always been loved. That love is right here, holding you, watching you. Mm-hmm. It's a love affair for sure. And yet it's one that you can never own, you can never pin down. And yet you realize that you don't need to, because it's always here. It's never left. It could never leave. And it's in the freedom, in the expansiveness that you realize that it's always here. That you don't need to cling or need, because it's what you're made of. It's who you are. Bringing an intimacy with yourself, a willingness to touch all of the places that feel to be discordant, a willingness to keep pulling all of the threads just into the light, into the love and care and compassion. And so in the resting, in the pause, in the seeming space between, flows love. The same love, the same life force is animating everything. The whole play is animated by love. Our whole play of life, our bodies, everything is being animated by love. Love as a frequency, love as an aliveness, the aliveness of life. And so to be the child, the playful child, resting in the natural innocence of being, knowing nothing, watching the show, receiving the grace as it flows, as it reveals, receiving the grace. Mm. And so it's all about you, because there's only you here, right? There's only me here. There's only the one. We belong to that one. And this unraveling is about finding out the truth of that in our own direct experience with curiosity and openness and care and compassion and joy, being up for the adventure. As we return the power to presence, we realize there's nothing that we can learn on the external that will carry us deeper. That mastery is an internal unfolding. It's mastery of the self. It's mastery over your own mind. It's the capacity to not be dysregulated and thrown out, whatever the mind brings in, whatever the story is. It's the capacity to recognize the unmoving, unchanging, unshakable truth of who you are in the face of whatever appears on the screen. And to know that whatever we are given because our soul has asked for that and has the capacity for it in this lifetime. The play of life is a rebalancing, a reorganizing, so that we can pull out our allegiance with the karmic, looping karmic play. And we can see through that we are not bound by karma. We can be bound by the mind. And yet this play, this dance in the human life is coming to the capacity to be able to master the mind. And in order to master the mind, we have to be willing to be with everything that is happening without letting it be the master, without letting it take over, right? And so we receive it. We receive the fears. We receive the fears, the separation, the division, the limitation, and all of the ways that the mind creates creatively to bring alive into like multi-dimensional experientiality, right? It's quite something, the manifest appearance. And so that's why we would also speak of that we have a great awareness about what we give our energy to, how we speak, what we empower through spoken word. What do we manifest through spoken word? What do our fears manifest? Everything we're creating from the frequencies that are hiding inside the frequencies of fear and limitation, creating ways to keep us safe, creating ways to keep us out of the fullness of life. Whereas in truth, life is asking us to be fully engaged. And when we are fully engaged, of course, we're going to meet the edges, the evolutionary edges. We're going to meet the edges that will bring us to the possibility of freedom, to bring the unloved, unmet parts of ourselves into the light, into the love, into the embrace of wholeness. And so, of course, in this, everything is holy. Everything is holy. In the knowing that there is only one, of course, everything is holy. So that's why we don't try to change the world. We change our perspective. We sit patiently in our own inner landscape, and thread by thread, we include everything into the embrace of love. And in the stillness, in the silence, we realize that we are so profoundly supported by what we belong to. So when we recognize that our belonging is to love, our belonging is to the glory, our belonging is to the divine light, the light that illuminates, our belonging is to the one source. And then we are resourced from source, and we have the power and capacity that continues to activate and initiate the deeper codings, light codings of our consciousness, so that we start accessing and making use of all that we are, the incredible capacity that we have. We start using more of it, refining and recalibrating, and using more of the incredible capacity that we have. We are made of light, and we are being remade in light. The evolution of humanity isn't about making the current situation better. It's about being recalibrated, reprogrammed, and reprogramming the whole consciousness of humanity to the finer, subtler, more refined frequencies of light. We have no idea at this moment what that really means, and yet we can feel it. We can feel it because we're wired for it. And so when we stop looking outside and we actually take the inquiry into the inner realms, the inner dimensions of our consciousness, we actually have the possibility of true illumination. And so if we were to sum it up, we might say, take it inside and be with it as a child would be with it. Right? Take it all inside. Be with yourself with such care, such love, such kindness. Let love catch you unaware.